The Audi TT is finally getting a new clutch, but that wasn't the real problem. One small part may have been causing all of my shifting issues. In the last video, I covered the initial troubleshooting I did to chase down the shifting issues. After no change in shifting, the transmission had to come out to inspect the clutch and the clutch slave cylinder. With the transmission out, I decided to replace the clutch. Here I'll go over what it had before and the reason for replacing it. It's a pretty straightforward install, so let's get into it. I'll rewind and go back over what the transmission issue was with this car. When it was off, it was shifting to all gears just fine. When the car was on, with the clutch depressed, it wouldn't go into gear half the time. I figured it was something to do with either the hydraulics or the clutch itself. Maybe it fell pressure plate. Because once the car was going, it would go through all the gears just fine. It was only when it was at a stop that it would struggle. Before, it had an ECS tuning stage 3 clutch, which was more than enough for the stock power that this car was putting out. That most likely will end up going into the GTI. I just need to get a 6-speed manual transmission for it. We are going to be replacing that clutch with a ClutchMax stage 1 clutch. I'm running one of these, a stage 2 clutch on the GTI, and it's been phenomenal. No issues, and I've ragged the hell out of that car. Never had any issues with slipping or anything. It engages just fine. But with this car, we're going with the stage 1 clutch because the clutch pedal feel is a little stiff on the stage 2 clutch. And another reason why we're going from a stage 3 down is because this car is for a first-time driver. But here is the lightweight flywheel. I just weighed it and it weighed 11.8 pounds. And then here is the pressure plate. Gonna leave it on the bag because I don't want to touch it. Got dirty hands. And the friction disc. And then they also supply hardware. And they also supplied the clutch slave cylinder. So now we're just gonna go install it. Alright, the flywheel is in. These bolts need to be torqued down in 3 stages in a specific sequence. Up on the screen will be the sequence. The first go around, they need to be torqued down to 22 foot-pounds of torque. Then you go around and torque them down to 44 foot-pounds. Then finish off with a 90-degree turn. Now, as far as the friction disc and the pressure plate, the side with the numbers on it and the rivets popping out, that goes towards the pressure plate. And this section here, which ClutchMax refers to the flat side, goes towards the flywheel. To install the clutch, I used this clutch alignment tool, as the supplied one did not fit snug into the crankshaft. To use it, you insert the tool through the pressure plate. Then the end of the tool goes into the spleen section of the clutch disc. Tighten the smaller dial to lock it into the disc. Then tighten the conical dial to center and hold both the disc and pressure plate together. It might not be perfectly centered, so I had to manually center it while tightening the cone. Now it's ready to go onto the flywheel. Now when you tighten the bolts down, you want to tighten them in the star pattern like anything else, but you don't want to bottom one out and then move on to the next. You want to do it progressively, so a couple turns here, a couple turns there until you go around, and you keep doing that way until they're fully seated, and then you torque it down to spec, which ClutchMax recommends 30 foot-pounds. So torquing down to 30. There we go. All right, now just gotta throw the fucking transmission in. Now this right here is where the real issue starts to show itself. The clutch slave cylinder. Comparing the old one to the new one, you can see the difference. The old unit wasn't operating correctly, which means that the clutch wasn't fully disengaging. And if the clutch isn't fully disengaging, that explains why it was so hard to get into gear. But it gets even more interesting. The previous owner actually installed a shim kit behind the slave cylinder. The idea behind this is to push the slave cylinder out further, basically compensating for a worn clutch. It's kind of a shortcut some people take when the friction disc is worn out but not completely gone. Problem is, if the slave cylinder itself is failing, adding a shim doesn't fix the issue, it just masks it. So instead of solving the problem, it likely made engagement inconsistent and could have been part of the shifting issues all along. While everything was apart, it was a perfect time to knock out the transmission and motor mount. Old mounts were worn out, so it was time for an upgrade. I decided to go with CTS Turbo Street Sports mounts, which are a 60 durometer and should help keep vibrations bearable. I also refreshed the ECS pendulum mount with new bushings. With the new clutch mount and slave cylinder installed, everything else was reinstalled. This should fix the disengagement issue and have the car shifting perfect again. But the TT isn't done yet. Next up, there's a cooling issue that needs to be sorted out, and the Haldex system is getting some attention too. The pump is coming out for an inspection, and depending on what's found, that could turn into a whole other project. Thanks for watching. If this helped or saved you some time diagnosing your own car, hit that like button. And if you're into budget builds, Volkswagen or Audi projects, and figuring things out the hard way, make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure to check out the links below as it helps support the channel. More TT content coming soon.